What's up, everybody? Real with Omar. This episode of Real with Omar is sponsored by the Gentleman's Lab. So you see the beard, you see the hair, you see the eyebrows. I didn't wake up like this. It was just done. You'll see the behind the scenes later, but it's had to make sure our sponsors get mentioned. And today's very special guest is one of the owners and founders of the Gentleman's Lab on North Avenue, as well as owner-operator of the home Thesis Construction Corporation, Hugo Velazquez. Hugo, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the haircut. You didn't do it. My man E over there did it. But it's all good. We're all within the same construct. We're all under the same roof. So we're all good. What's up, man?
Omar, thank you for having me over. I love doing podcasts and
well, how many podcasts have you done?
I've done a couple through the chambers of New Rochelle.
Okay.
One is being planned with the Larchmont, and we actually do have all the equipment too. So
you have your own?
Yeah.
All right, so you're ready to start your thing?
So yeah, we might. This might be the spark of something.
All right. Yeah.
A home thesis show.
Chopping up in a barber shop, like I was telling you off camera, is one of the old school memories that I remember having. Like you being waiting for your haircut when you're young, you see all the crazy shit happening. The guys, I mean, now I'm gonna date myself. Guys coming and selling stuff on the street, like all that. You get ladies coming with the carritos, selling food. Like you can do in the barbershop, you get anything. So we're on a higher end here, but maybe we create that same type of ecosystem here.
Correct.
On a different level, right? So all right, let's talk. Hugo. From Queens to the Bronx to New Rochelle.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I'm not trying to skip. I'm just trying to give context.
No, of course, yeah.
And then general contractor first?
Yes.
Okay. And how did we get into that?
So I did elementary, middle school, and the high school here in New Rochelle.
Okay.
Thankfully, New Rochelle High School had that program called BOSI's.
Okay. I know what that is. Yeah.
And the BOSI's is a program where they teach you skills, trade skills.
Trade skills.
So there was opportunity for you to do mechanic, culinary, carpentry, electrical. I chose carpentry. So what they do is they pull you out half of the day of the school.
Half a day.
Okay. So for me, I had the afternoon. After lunchtime, they would take me all the way to Valhalla.
Okay.
And that's where the BOSI's was located.
And you would apprentice there?
Right. It was a 2-year program. They choose the best students at the end. They recommend it to any local companies.
Oh, okay.
And so I did the summer. I worked all summer long. And I was basically the helper of the GC.
Okay.
So I saw him how he would speak to clients. I would see him how he would take notes. And then he would tell me, go help out the painter, go help out the tile guy.
Who was someone behind?
Yeah, I was someone behind. Yeah.
Just to give you guys context.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so then
what is that off schedule, yo, man? We'll go see what's up with that guy. Yeah, go see.
Bacon, egg, and cheese.
Yeah.
And so that's where it grew on me. I fell in love with tools. There was a tool for everything.
Right.
And with tools makes the job easier. So,
so that's right out of high school.
That's right out of high school.
So how many you be in the game for years?
I graduated 2008.
Okay.
But I started working for companies.
Okay.
Right, in the construction field, right?
As like a supervisor type of thing, or
no, I was just basically just working.
Entryman?
Yeah.
Entryman. So you're paying your dues. You're like going to see what it's about, how it's working for a larger organization.
Yeah.
So how many years into a larger organization do you finally figure out, hey, maybe I could do this a little better, or maybe I want to do it my way, or bring my culture to it.
Right.
I think I talk about that a lot, like bringing your flavor to the profession.
Again, I'm bringing it back to the high school. There was this one teacher called Mr. MacGyver.
MacGyver's the guy who used to fix everything with like a pencil and a match for the guys that don't know about that show. Yeah.
And this was his first year teaching, and this was my last year in high school. And it was just lo agarré.
Right. You got lucky.
Yeah, lucky. Yeah. His class was entrepreneurship. And it was a good class. It sparked something in my mind.
Right.
The project was to do your own business plan.
Okay.
And so at that time, my father was a painter, and I would help him on side jobs, and that's what I wanted to do.
You wanted to be what you saw.
Right.
I just want people to understand like how usually things kind of work out.
Yeah. And so the business name at that time was called Hugo's Unique Touch. Some people were like, hey, why?
What are you touching?
What did you say?
And that was his company? That was his company?
That was my company for that project at
Oh,
school.
oh,
At
okay, bro.
school.
Okay, bring it back.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay.
And so when we finished that project, pretty much the class was over. That was it. I graduated high school. But I went up to him. I'm like, hey, what's next? I want to really proceed this.
Yeah.
He recommended me to go to Vista Print, get some
Business
business
cards,
cards,
right.
and just put them on delis and throughout the space. And I did that. I went to Larchmont, and I kid you not, there was
Start
one time.
canvassing. That's what they call canvassing.
Yeah, canvassing.
I'm trying to bring the young kids to understand, like, how it starts. Like, it's not just
Right.
Instagram, right?
No,
It's
no.
just- yeah. Start canvassing.
Canvassing,
Right.
correct. And I kid you not, there was one time that I put the business card and I get a phone call that day.
Same day.
Same day. My
Okay.
first job. Exciting.
What was it?
It was to remove wallpaper.
Okay.
It was
Yeah, I
a
could
lot
do
of
that.
work.
You're like, I
It
could
was
do
a
that.
lot of work. It was a lot of work. And in my ego at that time, I didn't want to, I wanted to do everything myself.
Oh.
Even though I have my father right there just for advice.
But counsel,
like,
not
right.
advice, counsel.
Counsel.
Yeah, because he's doing it.
Yeah.
Right? I had a little post about that. Sorry.
Right. No,
Yep.
for sure.
Yeah.
And that's good to know. And through that, I learned the hard way. Right. I charged very cheap. For me, $150 around high school was like,
yeah.
con ese dinero
I'm killing
I
it.
could do a lot, you know?
Yeah.
And
Now, how long did it take you?
it took me a long time. And I remember sitting on a 4-foot ladder all the way on the last step, a little depressed just by seeing all the paper on the floor. Door opens up, client walks in. He saw my face. He saw there's a lot of work. And he was like, for $150, it's just not bad. He gets me a Happy Meal. He's like, here, get happy.
Because he knew you were young. He'd get over with that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that was your first job.
That was my first job.
Okay.
Yeah, but so things like this I've always done. Right. I didn't go to college right away, but I did go to college después.
Okay.
Right. And I was working at a very high-end company, painting company in the city, and that's where I did school. So I was working full time, and then after 4:00, I would take the bus all the way to Canal Street.
Wow.
And like 6:00 class would start, 9:00 would end, and at that time there's no
train,
there's no
Uber.
Well, there's trains, but what's it called? There's
no
local
express?
spots, no express.
Ah.
So my car's in Pelham Bay Parkway.
Damn.
That's an hour and a half train.
On the train every
But
stop.
that was the time where I would do
Study?
my homework, read my books, get home at 11 o'clock.
Being resourceable, right? It's another
Mhm.
lesson. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Another
man.
episode.
You could be like, you could be stressed out, like, oh my God, but like, all right, what can I do at this time, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So you get home at 11, and then
shower,
get ready, right?
go back to sleep.
Maybe eat, go to sleep and do it again.
Yeah.
For how many years?
No, well, I didn't. I ate at Canal Street, the $1 pizza spots.
There you go. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So then you take the trip up, and how long did that take you to get your I guess your diploma, right? Like your.
Well, I
degree?
didn't finish. I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't finish. What I'd studied. I got the interest of just learning. So there was no plan for me. Like, hey, I got to do these classes.
Okay.
To get
so you
these
do like liberal
credits.
arts, just kind of like become more well-rounded.
I just saw what was available. I like, I like this class. I like this class. I like this class. Let me take those classes.
Okay.
It was just more of just like just to read, just to
give yourself some depth, right?
Mhm.
Like people want to skip to the end and they don't understand. Like, I'm a big fan of some of the speakers in the past, and I'm not gonna shout his name out, but it's not the goal or destination you get to. It's the person you become on the way to that goal.
Yes.
Right. And that's what people sometimes don't understand. Like,
Mhm.
you're going to school just to get knowledge, to become like a deeper person, a denser, like having more like just knowledge about life in the world. Because just to use you as an example, when I went to NYU, man, like I'm from 160 Jerome in the Bronx, like the guys who were doing it were on the corner, right? They pull up in the Range Rovers doing it. I'm like, wow, this is great. And then you go down there and you meet children of CEOs, you meet actors, you meet like people that you thought were so far away from you because they were, proximity wise, they were. But I went to a place, luckily, that I was able to meet people, interact, and then understand like how big the world was. And you go and just going back to you, like, you may not have had that, but you knew you wanted to learn more about stuff that you liked. Why, we don't know yet, but we just wanted to get better, right? And that becomes a lifelong mission.
Right.
So I know I went on my tangent. My bad.
No. Let me ask you. At that time when you were in school, were you well spoken, like or shy when talking to people? I mean, because there's a lot of opportunity to meet, right, and network with other individuals.
Well, like I said, I came from the inner city, right? So I went to Lehman High School in the Bronx. Public school my whole life until college, and I went to school through a program, equal opportunity program. The big thing that people don't tell you is academics aside, when you're in the like Ivy or wannabe Ivy League school, there's financial stress. There's so many worlds of separation that you don't understand because you've only lived your life, and then you start cross-pollinating, and then you're like, you're from Cali and you flew here yesterday, like you're like your shit is blown. So the good thing about NYU is they put us into a summer program to kind of ramp us up. They told us about time management. We took, whatever classes we were that strong in. We took communication. We took things like that. They kind of prepped us. But the attrition rate, man, just for my class, and if anybody's watching this from my class of 97, it was 90 of us in the class, like coming in through this program.
Wow.
I know of 5, and I'm one of them that graduated. So out of 90, the attrition rate is bananas, right? And those 5 all doing like decent things, right? So like we really wanted it, and we're still kind of friendly. But it would have been more. It would have been nice to have more, right? So when I first started, yes and no, because you kind of like you're put in this world where like you think you know what the rules are.
Yeah.
Then you go to a new world, right? It's like a new world. And you're like, what is this?
You have to adapt.
You gotta do this and right, and I'm in Washington Square Park. All this money, like the buildings around it, it really helped me open my mind to possibility.
Yeah.
And that's when I started really kind of digging it. And it wasn't so much of being social, but kind of I want to understand how that works. How do you leverage that? And what's an IPO? And like all the things that you hear, and you kind of like when it didn't serve you or it wasn't useful, you wouldn't pay attention. Like that would not do with me, right? Like I'll never get there. But here I'm in a place where everything is available.
Yeah.
There's Stern Business School is there. This is and you start meeting people, and they're doing it like, and they're young. I got into college at 17. So like we're and you think and then you're like, wow, and then it's crazy. So that was a big evolution for me. And just by exposure. Just not like somebody said, hey man, I'm gonna teach you. It was just more I would sit in the room and I would listen, and I would kind of like gravitate towards it. And I was really lucky I had one teacher, Mr. Maldonado, since you brought your guy up, I'll bring my guy up.
Yeah.
Communication. Spanish kid. He was dope. He was I remember we first get to class, he's sitting there at the table, like at a desk, like a student with long hair. So he was young. So we're all going into class, we're all there, and we think we know shit. And we're like, yo, where's the teacher at? Right? And it's him, right? So he pulled me out on the side one time. He's like, listen, you don't understand how lucky you are to be where you are. And I'm not telling you that to kind of like make you feel special, but just seize what you got. Like I didn't like, you 18, 19. He's like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, so, but he told me, he's like, I work here. You're a student here. He's like, there's not too many. If you look around, there's nobody looking like you right now. So understand how special you are and don't waste it. That's what he told me. Don't waste it. He's like, do what you want to do, but don't waste it. And that's still with me because in the beginning you're like, yeah, whatever. And then, school to school. And then you start seeing that your consciousness starts rising, and you're like, so this is what the economy, this is what global economy means. This is what trade tariffs are. Like you start understanding these words that you never had used before. Yeah, so now you're like
connecting dots.
Oh shit, it's like the Matrix, right? It's like the Matrix. And yeah. So I was very lucky on that point, and then I got really lucky. So I had a son when I was 19. I had a son when I was young, and I was paying for school, so I had to take a semester off. That semester off, a good friend of mine, a workout partner at the time, his family's all police. So the police, when they retire, they got the side hustles, like they do the security jobs. So he goes, I'm working. He was working as like a doorman at the farm. He was young also. But my boy Milton, he has a job. They need a elevator. I never heard about this in my life before. I was like 19, 20. They need an elevator guy. I was like, a what? He goes, an elevator guy for 8 to 12 weeks to cover these union guys.
Mm-hmm.
And they're paying, I don't know, $17 an hour. And back in the 90s,
That
this
was
was
good.
a lot of money. I was like,
Oh yeah.
I don't need a degree. He goes, no. You just go for the interview.
Uh-huh.
So I went to the interview. It was on 72nd Broadway, 4 buildings for the App Fort. It's now a condo. And I go in there, I forgot the lady's name, but she was basically like, you're going to school, that's good. She goes, you're to be seen, not heard. The people that, live here are very high net worth, like the 1%. She's like, so you're in the elevator. I was like, so what's my job? Right? Because I never heard. I was like, what am I supposed to do? She goes, all right, you're going to be in the elevator. Right? I was like, okay, I got that. She was like, and they're going to tell you what floor they will live on, and you're going to press the button. I was like, that's my job? She was like, that's your job. But for 8 hours. So I was like, okay, so bet. So at that building, I bounced. There was 4 towers. I bounced. I met the chairman of American Express. I met Nick Pileggi, who wrote Goodfellas. I met his wife, Nora Ephron, who wrote Sleepless in Seattle. I met Cyndi Lauper. I met so many people.
At the age of 19.
Yeah.
Wow.
And, whatever she said, they start talking to you. You got to be like, you can't be out some ignoring shit, right?
Yeah.
So I started engaging.
Be polite.
Right. I started engaging. And, yeah, man, one thing I learned is that the people that have want you to have, right? Meanwhile, where I grew up, everybody's kind of like gatekeeping and like shitting on each other, like crabs in a barrel. And they were like, no, you can do whatever you want. You're in school, that's great. Like giving you tips. Oh, you want to do this? I could hook. They put me on. They're like, you call this guy, or this guy lives in another building, talk to him. Like,
wow.
Yeah. So I kind of understood the value of proximity. I was like, okay. All right. I was like, I bet. So I got another job from that job at that place, Bumble, I told you about off camera. And I worked there while I was in college. And I started learning about how to go from small to very large. And I was witness to it. I wasn't a part of it because I wasn't ready yet. Like, some people are like, oh, they should put you on. I was like, I was 19. I was 20.
Raising the kid.
Yeah, I was like, well, no, but I'm 20 years old. I'm barely out of college. What the fuck am I going to do? Like, I'm not sell hair products. So, like what they would have needed at that time. But I take it all as an education, man. So like that's kind of how I evolved into the person I am now, because I know that what I might feel is not super valuable might be super valuable to you, and vice versa, right? And as long as you're meeting with people that want to also lift, it works, right? And I can identify those that just take. And you know it is, man. You take L's. It is what it is, but that's part of the learning process.
That's part of the process.
Taking L's take you to your W, and that's kind of how I peruse through life, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, you met me here. The kid who was next to me, Malocchio Brands,
Jesse.
Yeah. He had hit me up somehow. I forgot how we started talking on Instagram. I walk in. Oh, so Ed had pulled up at the event. What a name drop right now. At the Ace dinner in Tarrytown,
which I've been trying to attend.
I went to one in January. I owed Dave and Sean that, but last year was a tough year, so I went to January. I met Ed. So Ed, another like there was very few Latinos, right? So that I'll just say that. So I met Ed there. Ed hit me up. He goes, yo, he's like, you just want to connect. I was like, hey man, so I'm on Sound. He goes, I live by Sound. I was like, look man, bring coffee, pull up. We'll hang out in the conference room, talk for a little bit, and so you can tell me what you're looking to do, and I can see how it would be of value. So that happened. And then he was like, I'm going to do this. And I had just come back from Puerto Rico. I was like, yo, I'm going to come. He's like, I bet. Somewhere in the middle, I started talking to Jesse. So I'm here, and he's right next to me. Isn't that funny?
But did you already had a vision of what Jesse looked like? Or
no. I mean, yeah, I saw him on IG, but we had scheduled a podcast already.
Wow.
Yeah, but this was the pre-podcast.
Okay.
And it just so happened that way. And then I met you, and I was telling you I was looking for something. You came by, and I was like, yo, you want to do this? And like I was telling, I'm in real estate, so you're a good person to have in mind, because if they want to do big renos or small, whatever, I have somebody that I can say I trust, has a professionalism and holds a standard. Because what happens is, especially in contracting, I'm going to go on a t-shirt right now. In contracting, everybody's a contractor, a GC. Nobody's insured. Niggas, they take a deposit, they leave. And if you refer that person, you're the bad guy. You go, oh, I did me dirty. I'm like, oh, I'm like, what? And sometimes y'all feel bad. I'll pay. No. But don't recommend nobody. And you don't want that on your face, right? You're like, so always looking for good people, right? That is the journey. Always looking for good people. And and we're here. So home thesis. Remodeling, you're doing that for how many years?
We are going to our 10th year actually this June.
10th year this June.
Yeah, the 10
All right.
years.
So tell me how that translates into the sponsor of today's show,
Yeah.
the Gentleman's Lab. How do we get here? Which
Well,
is it's a vibe. I
Yeah,
love it.
no,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah. Well, we did all the finishes here. This is a concrete imitation, custom stations. The stone comes from my associate James. His father owned the stone company.
Okay.
So we do a lot of kitchens together and
Collab.
you might collab, right? Okay. But the Gentleman's Lab, this used to be a barbershop before, and
Yeah, but wait a minute. Where's the idea? Like I do remodeling. You know what? Let me open a high-end barbershop too, because that I don't know. That's a little off, man.
yeah, no,
That's a
it's
little brand,
right, right. It's
Yeah.
completely different. We are actually working in close by in Connecticut. James and myself, we were doing a remodelation, and so we do a lot of networking, come to support businesses. So let's explore what the town offers, right?
Right.
We came across a high-end barbershop. We're like, wow, Rochelle needs something like this,
Right.
and we got introduced through a software which pretty much gives you all the resources. It makes it just things easier, just like a shop manager.
Like a POS, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And so we'd be able to collect the data from our top clientele. We'd be able to do text blasts, email blasts, all that stuff. So barber cuts everyone's hair. Barber cuts doctors, lawyers, teachers, you name it.
Mhm.
And so us like to meet people, and we want to introduce ourselves, see how we could be of value to them, or vice versa. Just network, get to know
Synergy.
people.
Looking for synergy.
Right.
Yeah, I got you.
And just being here at home. My parents live up the hill.
Oh, so it's local.
Yeah,
Right,
local. We've been here for
You've been canvassing this area for a long time.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And so it's just a great opportunity for, be here, meet people. It's a hub of networking.
The crazy part is that you're not a barber.
No.
So that's the funny part. Like that's a really funny part. Like, yo, I'm gonna
Right.
make this dope spot. I'm like, yeah, but how you gonna get this hair? Like, no, I gotta get good people,
I gotta
and they have
get
to also
great
buy
team.
into the vision, right?
Mhm.
They gotta understand it's not just your local spot,
Right.
right? It's this is what we're trying to bring,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
And-
Yeah. So we have a great team. We have Master Barber, Chris and Edwin. Both of them are just they understand the vision. They also, and it's not just us, right? We all brainstorm together, come with different ideas. Let's put this to test. We're part of a lot of events where we do a lot of networking when it comes to sponsorships from the Gentleman's Lab, and that's when it opens doors for us to, hey, we're also contractors, right?
Right.
Let's
right. This is what
we do more.
The way it works is people usually want to do business with people they like, know, and trust, right?
Mhm.
So IRL is an acronym for my other guests I'm using in real life, right? Obviously, networking events are sometimes they get intense. Like you got to run your business. You gotta, if you're married, you gotta have time for your wife. You have kids. You have to have all this time. So it gets a little crazy sometimes. So yeah. So the social media part, just to go back to my story with Jesse, is just kind of how you can be online, come offline, right?
Yeah.
And it kind of work,
Yeah,
right?
yours, yeah.
And it kind of work if you know how to use it.
Mhm.
Some people get caught up in my industry, especially, I feel in real estate and lending, where they're so busy trying to be content producers that they forget they're supposed to be really good at their job. It's almost like a barber who doesn't know how to cut hair, who has this dope barbershop, but you come and you rock everybody and they like never come back, right? So I tell people most of the time to do it, work on your craft first, right? Then market it. Don't market, because the more you market, the better you are, the faster they'll find out you suck, right? And vice versa. So that was a little snip for the younger crew, because they always I got this files, I got that. I was like, how many, just I'm using barbershop as an example. How many hairs have you done? 5. I'm like, yo, bro, I think you should be at 500 first. Then, or you're gonna have different skin tones, you're gonna have different hair, like
Yeah.
you really, and and let's be real, like this is a higher end place, so the price is a little higher. So people expect more. Right?
Yeah.
People expect more. So as long as you do expectations, that's perfect. But I want to just say that because obviously you're a good networker. We're here, but it's only because you've been doing, your job for so long and this, and then knowing enough to say, yo, let me get a really good crew to represent me on this side, because synergistically it'll work. Because as I grow, there's just space for growth, right?
Right.
Like if there's more room, there's more space for everybody to grow.
Exactly.
Well, that's what
Right.
most people miss in team sports, right? They think, yo, it's me. I'm like, no, listen, the
No,
bigger the pie is, the bigger your piece gets,
Right.
right? Sometimes people see it that way. Some people, it depends.
Same thing with Home Thesis. It took 10 years to establish a solid team, right? Because in my team, I need a responsible licensed electrician, right? Same thing with the plumber, tile guy, floor guys, everything. And so they are coming into our people's homes. Yeah. People's homes. And so there's a level of how we do things. Everything needs to be
There's
clean.
a standard. Yeah,
Right.
gotcha.
And if I bring someone new, then it's like starting over. I have to tell them how things should be. And
yeah, introduce the culture.
Right.
Hey guys, this is how we do it here.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. Kind of like even when I have like loan officers or even the reason I have the lending company, the real estate company, and the media company. The media company is to feed the other two. But the real estate company came from necessity as I was a lender, seeing all the dumb shit realtors are doing. Like I'm going back, 05, 06 during the meltdown. And I'm like, 07, 08. And I'm like, yo, like, okay. Like, you gotta play a position, right? Like it's not like I can tell the client, hey man, they're retarded, they should do this.
Mm-hmm.
But as you see lack of experience and expertise cost money, you like there's a fiduciary thing pulling on you like, all right, so let me do this part. So that if my boys, because that's how it always works, right? Your friends, your immediate circle, like if they need help, I want to be able to help them, right? So then you do the first one, and then once you do the first one, your other boy's like, yo, I heard you did this for him, and I want you to do that for me. I'm like, yo, but it's not really my thing. Well, that's how I grew my company with my wife and the two agents or whatever, because there's always so much of me, right? There's only like, if I'm securing the money for the transactions, I know how to do all the other stuff, but I can't be everywhere, right? But you got to have the people because they have to be just as disciplined. They have to be just as professional. They have to be just as motivated to work.
Honest, trustworthy, and all that.
Yeah. Because they're extensions of you. Like if you all represent a brand, because we all do. I represent H.R. your Home Feed. Then you're working for something bigger than yourself, and that becomes that is almost like a deprogramming of what I've seen lately in terms of the next generation, where it's me, and I'm like, no, guys, if you want, it could be you. If you're willing to wake up and do this and do that, and every day, and nobody wakes you up, and like it takes a lot. It takes a lot, bro. But if you want to be part of something bigger, not only do you have to do that for yourself, but for the team, because it's like recently I had some guys that were working out of my office that asked to leave. Personally, they're cool. We're cool. I seem love. But my energy is different. I come with purpose every day. I'm driven. I have 10 things I do. If I get through 9 of them, I'm good. The one rolls over, 10 more. But I come with a plan, and being around people that don't move that way, eventually there'll be friction. I know myself. I'm like, yo, if I don't move in this way, and so to protect my own energy, I said, guys, why don't you guys work from outside? I'll cut your splits. I'll make your splits even bigger. Do you think, man? Just be happy.
Yeah.
I need my space.
Yeah. I need that.
Yo, your space, your mental space.
It's funny how you said that because just recently I was telling Jason, my associate, who couldn't be here, but if you could edit him here, you just put him right here.
Put a little pop up of him right there, right?
But I was telling him, I was like, bro, I thank you for you being you, because we both have kind of like the similar flexibility to be creative, to do things, to be spontaneous. And we're always looking for solutions for problems. When a problem shows up, it's like a little highlight of the day. It wakes you up. It's like, all right, let's figure it out. And if we can't come up with something together, well, let's talk about it with others.
Let's mastermind. Let's brainstorm. Yeah, absolutely. Let's bring in professionals or guys that specialize.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And once you find that solution and then you see the problem solved, that's satisfying.
Yeah, you feel better. But that also, what you're saying, just to add on to that, is that you have to release the ego, right? You can't be on some, no, I don't know. I defer. Like if it's something, for example, like me and my wife work a lot together. So if it's something that takes high emotional EQ, I've been conditioned a little bit with my business that I know kind of what numbers are. And I'm like, look, this is really your transaction. Like if it's her client, you lead. Like, cause I know the way like my margins have to like. For me, it's just because I've been around a long time, and I get a little like get hardened. But I know the value because, for example, I'll have a client who'll be like, "Oh well, why am I paying you more?" I said, "Perfect, great question." I said, "Remember this property you had a listing for 2 years? You sold it for $3 million, but you carried it for $240,000. Look, I know that like you told me, I know. No, I'm a lender, right? So for $240,000 out of $3 million, you lost, right? Property came for 90 days and got rid of it. 90 days, 3 months. I was like, if let's carry it out the 2 years, and now tell me if that $20,000 that you paid me extra is worth it or." Oh, I understand. I understand. Like no, but you and it doesn't have to be like an attack. It's a numbers thing. It's a numbers thing. Listen, man, you pay me to make you top priority, right? I tell clients, if you're paying me what I'm asking for, you're top priority. You call me whenever time, and it's gonna happen, within reason, right? Like you can't go crazy. The buyer, the seller, or the buyer. Like I can't. There's only so much I can control. What I can control, I got you, right? There's other variables, and we can do our best. Like you, for example, you're a general contractor. Let's say you go to your, I'm just making this up. Don't get mad at your sister or brother. Like you go to the house and they have something done, right? And you'll be like, "Oh, you didn't hire me. That's cool. Well, how much the cost, right?" And you can be like, "Oh, that's a decent price."
My cousin did it.
Right, whatever. You know what I mean? Like somebody owed me a favor. You know, it could be whatever. But you can tell them, all right, that's a decent price, right? Other people going blind and just getting rocked, and they're like, okay, you know. And I believe proximity is a big deal. Like I have clients that will come into the Bronx. They'll meet with an attorney. So Latinos want to meet with the attorney for everything. What is this paper read? Read it for me. It's $50. Give me $50. I want you to read the paper. What do you think, right?
Yeah.
So I had a guy come in one time, and he's getting pitched to refinance through Quicken Loans. So he met with his attorney. Attorney was like, "Oh, okay, so this is a good faith estimate. I'm not gonna get too boring, but she's like, luckily we have a lender here. So I'm gonna put you LO, and he's gonna tell you what to do." So I looked at it and I was like, "This is a decent deal." I checked the market. I said the rates are kind of where they're at, closing costs kind of average. I was like, "I'll do the deal. Congrats."
Yeah.
I gave him a pound. He was like, "No." He was like, "Can you do this?" I said, "Yeah, I can do it, but that's a decent deal, bro. Like, go ahead." He said, "No, I'd rather deal with you because I know you're here. And tu hablas mi idioma." Right? He started, no, but that's the culture, right? But people, I try to break it down so that people understand what I mean by culture. It's really, if I've walked in your pathways, right? I speak your language. I know what your mother means to you as a Hispanic man. I know these things, right? So I ride with you. That's the big thing. That's the thing where people try to disconnect and commoditize, but they can't. I'm using Quicken as examples, like the number 2 lender in America. And they got some kids just calling out the phone book, and that's cool too. But having a real life space to interchange and exchange ideas and value, that's the win. Now the big thing is just you, like I said, I got to be good at that, or the attorney would not recommend it. She'd be like, "No, I don't look at that guy. He's crazy." You know what I mean? But I earned that. I earned that look. So I'm just circling that back to you having home thesis, and then now having a place where people can come. And it was a very relaxing, haircut. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, that whole thing. I don't know. You put the massage in my eyeballs. It was. I thought I was scared, but I was all right. It was pretty good. Yeah. It's pretty dope. And this is exactly what you wanted to create.
Yes. I mean, that most definitely is. It's been 1 year, but we're learning a lot, and we'll take that to, and like anything else, you grow, you adapt, you add, and just get it better and better and better. Right?
Were you embraced by the community quickly, or did you have to do a lot of outreach?
We were embraced with the community. We're very involved with the community. So we got support from the community. We're doing a lot of collabs.
I think collaboration is king.
Yeah. So that just, our eyes are everywhere. And we give back to the community. So it's like, it's something that we're also giving back. We're being included. Let us know what you need. We're here,
I came here and I didn't know what to expect when I first came here.
The Worshiping Network?
Well, yeah, the Worshiping Network was cool. It was more religious than I'm used to, but that's cool. I have nothing against that. And Ed's a good guy. He's finding his way. And there was an eclectic group of people. It was very different, right? Like
Yeah.
I definitely didn't fit in. Like, I was like, yo, you know my people. I was like, but it's all good. Like when you talk. Yeah. They had I'm an OG, but some OGs, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? We won't name them. But I thought it was pretty cool. I think people are looking to connect, especially post COVID, physically and kind of like feel energy and understand, what's going on. How many of those type of events have you had here?
This was our first
And you
time.
met at Vinny's.
Yeah.
Name dropping time. Vinny
Mhm.
Briscoe.
Yeah. Agora Social Club.
You met
Yes.
him there at
At a men's
dad's
group.
thing?
It was well, he does these events like once or twice a month. Men get together, breath work, we talk,
Chop it up.
stays in there. And yeah. So it was an intimate group that time when I met Ed. Then we exchanged informations on Instagram. We reached out. He reached out.
He's a good follow-up guy.
Yeah, he is great.
He's good at that. Yeah.
We spoke on the phone. We were there for like an hour, chopped it up. Then we met up for lunch, introduced to my associate. And right there, he's like, I want to do something. And we're like, let's do it at the lab. He's like, you like that? I'm like, just pick a date. Let's do it and make it happen. And, as we were going, we didn't know what was gonna
become.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah,
I
yeah.
was worried that it was gonna be a lot of people, right?
Oh, you were?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because all of a sudden we get all these notifications that people are like
Registering.
register, right? And
Yeah.
then there's also word of mouth, right? Like, hey, I'll be there, but they didn't even register, right? So I was already getting prepared to see if I get the space on the other side available.
What's next door?
It's empty.
Oh, it's totally empty.
Yeah, it's empty.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Is that on purpose? Empty?
No, I mean it's just spaces are available to rent.
But we spoke about it. So you had
yeah.
another vision.
Yeah.
What changed that? It was too expensive?
Well, at that time, it was when we were prepared to do it. Another business came in,
Okay.
and just recently they stepped out.
What was it?
I was a hair salon for
Next to a barbershop. Makes
yeah,
sense. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
and
Things keep going the right direction.
same layout.
Yeah.
Yeah, same
Okay.
square footage.
If things keep going in the right direction, you think you'll eventually expand?
Most definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I could see Gentleman's Lab throughout Westchester, twice as bigger, more collabs, more network, a lot of growth.
We'll give people the vision because we spoke about it, but I want them to hear it.
Yeah.
So you got the master barbers, and then you have obviously the barber chair, right? And then you'll have another piece to it, which might be speakeasy-ish kind of, where you'll have a pool table or a
Place for
card
work,
table,
yeah,
or work from home, or work from here.
work from here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
co-working space, a full bar experience, place to network. It'll be like a lounge,
Right.
right? Collaborate with local coffee shops, alternate the artwork through the space, and give them the space as a canvas for them to also introduce their craft, their art.
Yeah, break their stuff. Yeah,
Mhm.
I agree. Yeah. No, I mean, break it, man.
Yeah,
Break
no,
it
yeah.
open. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, you have the right vision, man. I wish you a lot of luck with that. But what would you tell any entrepreneur it's like it started in high school for you, right? And you
Yeah,
had
it
this
did.
whole story we went through, right? So
Mhm.
any kid that's going through like kind of what you're going through, what would you say? What would you tell them to do?
Don't be scared to ask around what's the next step, right? I mean, I grew up with a family who didn't own businesses. So James and myself, we learned the hard way. We got penalties, we got fees because we didn't know that we had to get these type of insurances to be able to start
As a GC, you mean?
as a GC
Okay,
at the beginning. What was the difference between an LLC with an S corp and all the steps.
The business part.
The business part, and just by everything, there's a lot to be involved at the beginning because we did it all. We did the marketing, we did the work,
You everything. Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
And so, enjoy the process. If you're hungry, continue with that hunger. Ask around, right, and continue with that passion. You have to love what you do, and I love what I do. I wake up in the morning, can't wait to go to work. Pumped up.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's see what's.
My other question is like the prior generation, the immigrant generation, because we're first generation of immigrants, right?
Yes.
Correct. So they're usually very entrepreneurial, but they're very risk averse. So when you told dad, "Yo, dad, I'm gonna do this," what was the first response? Like I'll tell you mine. Like after you, like my mom was, "You crazy?" But why send you to college? Like, "Yo, Mom, just don't Anyway, go ahead.
My father was proud. My
Was
father was
he?
proud. Yeah,
That's dope.
he had the vision to do something like that, but he was didn't have the courage to do it. And then
He had the language barrier?
because no, he was an extrovert. He's an extrovert, so
Okay.
he's quiet in the background, right?
Okay.
And my mom's an introvert,
Okay.
and so he would support me. He would support me and tell me like, make sure you do this, you do that when it comes to the professionalism of working inside of someone's home.
Hmm.
Um, we did a lot of projects together. He's a fall finish artist.
What's that? I don't know what that is.
So he can make this wall look like a marble piece, and it's with paint.
Faux.
Faux.
That's what you meant. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. Okay.
And
Okay.
so he travels a lot through this company. And that's what he does, right? He did this concrete finish here with the
Nice.
trowels and plasters.
So he was cool with it, man. What about your
Mhm.
mom?
My mom also, before she used to sell Tupperware,
Door to door.
go door to door,
Hand combat. Yeah, I love
right?
that.
And
Yeah.
so through that, I learned how to speak to people because I would help her out when taking all the IMs
Yeah,
to
you
the
the
locations.
assistant.
Yeah.
You're the
Mhm.
assistant. You had to bring
I was the
everything.
assistant,
Yeah.
and she would just talk. And that's where I learned too. But I have my moments, so I'm balanced out. That was my yin yang of, my dad being quiet. It's always good to step back, listen,
Right.
and then also when there's the opportunity to talk and
speak. Right. They say speak twice, listen twice as much as you speak.
Mm-hmm.
So they both gave you the cosign. Like go ahead, do your thing.
Yeah. No, they're very proud. Yeah, I mean when we opened the gentleman's lab, we kept that kind of quiet, and so on. And then we finally did it. It's open. We got the keys and everything's remodeled. Hey, mom, dad, I opened up a barbershop. What?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah. I had a very different. Every time I wanted to do something, my mom was like, no. She was like, no. You went to school, get a job at a good place, pays a lot, or work for the city, or be a lawyer, or just something safe. And I finally understood, like, at a certain point in my life, I had to turn it off. Like, I had to stop listening and just go because I spent more time arguing about my dream than doing my dream. So I was like, let me just go. And then when I circled back, after a couple of years, because what I've learned is that they believe once they see it.
Yeah.
It's not, they can't conceive it because they're not from that, right? Going back to when I went to school, I started seeing the way the levers worked, just to use that metaphor. And I was like, oh, so I could do this. I could do, like, there's so many different opportunities they could do. Like, just pick one. And, I did that. She was never exposed to that. So, she used to carry water on her head to take a bath. Like, I'm not saying that to minimize it. I'm saying that I understand her path. So we got to a point where we had so much friction that I had to kind of just turn it off a little bit.
Yeah.
But then when I turned it around and then she saw, like, you wear a suit and you have money for lunch, like, shit like that. Like, you have a nice car. And then she was like very, very, very proud. But to get to that point was tough. I had to endure, it was like 4 or 5 years of, I had to just go into my zone and just go. And, it's a limiting self-belief, but with respect to that, I also understand where she's coming from. And I only mention that because there might be guys out there on the come up or trying to come up, and they might hear that. And my advice is, listen, I'm talking about my mother, right? So you have to limit your exposure. Like, not because you don't love somebody, but rather if you're truly in pursuit of something, nothing will deter you. You have to go. And if that means putting someone on the side for a little bit, I mean, you still see them for the holidays and all that, and deal with that, but not every day, because every day they'll drill a hole in your head.
Right.
You got to do that. But that's only if you're true to your thing. Like, I had a liquor store in 99, and I worked by myself from 8 in the morning to midnight. I tell you that now, I'm like, hell no. But at 25, I was like, yo, gotta get done. Like, I put all the money I had in my, my savings into this thing. I had partners originally, it didn't work out. And, it was either, fold up or make it happen. So I had to make it happen. And I think about those days now because I'm like, yo, it was a lot of hours. But, you make it the best you can. Prior to social media, though, I made it a spot to be at.
Yeah.
Right. So I could talk about this. All this is a post. What do you call that? When you can't get convicted of something anymore? It's, it'll come to me later. Anyway, so I had the liquor store on 159 3rd across the street from the precinct.
Okay.
And then there was an empty storefront next door. So I took it over, but I never did anything outside of it. So I made an entrance to it through the store to the back.
Wow.
And they were smoking cigars. And these are guys in uniform. Statute of limitations is over. Sorry about that. That's all right. It just came to me. Cops, cool blue uniforms.
Yes.
Smoking cigars, drinking drinks in my spot.
Perfect.
But that's what I created, right? Just going back to when you said that, you touched that memory for me. That speakeasy, and they just wanted a place to be safe. What
Close by.
were they working? Yeah, they were working. They can go out the back and go to the parking lot and leave change or whatever they have to do. But I understood that people like to have a place to be where they feel safe, right? Like where they feel safe, and that became the big thing. So as you grow, I think the only words of wisdom I can give you is that as long as you cultivate and protect your culture and everybody feels safe, it'll only grow. And that you get that by having like-minded individuals, coming. It's not like when I had a nightclub too. At certain points, you're just charting at the door. Like, yo, man, it's full. You want to come in, it's $100. All right, bet. And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then it's not safe. Like I had a maximum occupancy of 75 people in that place. I had 200 people in there one time. Nothing happened, but you know what I'm saying? Like, but that was me at 28, 29, like just trying to make money. I was like, oh, this is great. But then you're like looking and you're like, yo, it's like a sea of people. Anyway, I don't even know how we got a tangent. Hugo, if people need to find you on any social media platforms for construction or to get to the Gentleman's Lab, if they want to make an appointment here, how do they do that? And when you do, please speak into the camera. Like, how do they do that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, when it comes to the Gentleman's Lab, we have an app that you could download through Google Store or Apple. And it's just Gentleman's Lab. Through there, you get to choose the professional. We have from barbers, licensed estheticians, masseurs, and even tattoos.
I might get a tattoo, guys. Just like,
yeah. And when it comes to Home Thesis, you could through our website, www.homethesis.com, or our Instagram, which we're very active. We do a lot of stories before and after.
Yeah, he's out there, man. He's out there. He's outside. He's outside.
I'm outside.
Right? Yeah, he's outside. Right? Yeah, be outside. Well, you have to let people know what you're doing while you're doing it. And here's the influencer secret of the day. Everything you see on my stories is not that day, guys. All right, so just FYI, like people pulling up to places, like that's yesterday, or I left already. Like,
right.
That's the only thing I tell you guys. If you don't want no internet stalkers, post later. Don't post real life. In real time. No, in real life they will find you. So, yo, thank you for your time, guys. Ask Will Somar everywhere. Thank you for your time. I hope we've been of value. You know where to get your haircuts now, because that's where I come. If you need construction, this is who I use, and there you have it.
Thank you, Omar.
Thank you.
Great time.